Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I know it's been a while since I've been on, but I'd like to welcome everybody to the live stream. And let's welcome West Coast Grindhouse Party. Welcome. Greg, welcome. Donna Ray, yo, you're welcome. Hello there, Amy. Uh, James, welcome. So, uh, Gremlins did part of the DUI guy this morning, and some people were expressing that we're covering dumbwaiter, as everybody knows. So I thought I would do the first part of the Dummy Kruger video. There was two videos that Dummy Kruger did, along with the DUI guy, to expose dumbwaiter or Chris, whatever name you want to go by, and we're gonna look over this. And I think I've played this before, but we're gonna do it again. Hello, Pamela, welcome. And I have contacted Dummy Kruger to get that second video back up. That explains more of the 1998 case, the probation revocation case of that marijuana and drug paraphernalia charge that dumbwaiter has. So let's begin. Like I said, the beginning part's already played.
Remember that far back that well. But a 9-day stint in which I chose to stay in for the 9 days and went to court and out of there. We'll talk about the details of that, the true details, not the spun off details that Dummy Kruger needed to get clicks and views. But the real facts to it are going to come out.
The bond never happened. I spent 9 days, according to the documents, in jail.
And this is not a shot. This is just an observation that people have in general. I mean, there's a reason why a large channel like yourself, the majority of these comments are people saying that you were exposed. And that's because of the fact
because Kruger lied.
People say again?
Kruger lied. He said that I was bonded out of jail within a day. That's a lie. Huge lie.
First of all, back in 99, I was in jail for 9 days. Not 1, 9. So all these idiots who think they got the truth now from that Kruger no, I was in jail for 9 days. He could have proved it. He chose not to. He wanted to lie to you, and he did.
Welcome to the Dummy Kruger channel, everyone. Today's video brings us back to Meade County, Kentucky for the long-awaited follow-up to a video I made 2 months ago about the YouTube channel For Public Safety and his girlfriend Tiffany. During those 2 months, Chris and Tiffany have spent quite a bit of time on their channel attempting to discredit the video I made that tore apart a lot of their claims that an alleged imposter or a massive government conspiracy were being used to revoke a probation that Chris skipped out on over 25 years ago. He's referred to me as a liar, a scammer, a fucking dummy, which honestly is my favorite because he's not smart enough to figure out the play on words. He's also claimed that I made my video with the help of other YouTube channels and even a Kentucky public official, neither of which are true.
Yeah, if you find that video of dumbwaiter pumping diesel in his car, please send it to me. I think Wrangler wants it too, because we want a big laugh. I don't know too many people that pump diesel into a unleaded gasoline car. I'm surprised that, he must have gotten, you have to drop the gas tank just to get the diesel out. Oh boy. That's a first.
Every single video that I've produced to date, I've done entirely on my own with no one's help. That is, until today. For this video and one more to follow, I've joined forces with attorney Larry Foreman, also known as the DUI guy on YouTube. A few weeks back, Chris reached out to Larry for an interview where he wanted to discuss the ongoing, quote, corruption in Meade County, Kentucky, as well as his 11 charges that he's currently facing there. This is how that interview started.
I'm a lawyer, investigator, publicator, whatever you want to call it, so to me, this is all, this is all new stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing some research on this too, and I expected that you would, because you are a very good attorney. Well, I knew you wouldn't come into the subject half-assed, so I appreciate that you did your research.
I'm told sometime before this interview took place, Larry was informed by multiple people of the video that I produced on this couple that showed how much they've been lying to not only their audience, but seemingly the courts as well. My video, on top of Larry's intrigue surrounding this case, became the focal point of the interview. When Larry confronted Chris about all of the issues that I pointed out in my video, he got back what most of us are used to when watching Chris. Lots of stumbling and bumbling and word salad. Here's some of what Chris has been saying about Larry since that interview.
Hey everybody, Tim Walls here. Here's the deal. If you're able to give a little bit and help our campaign, we're going to do something.
Apparently the trolls got through to the Mr. Foreman, the DUI guy. I thought he would be a little smarter than to just listen to what they're just saying.
Welcome, Mr. Minzy. West Coast, just let me know what your new, if you have to get a new channel, just let me know. You can leave a message, in the comment section here after today. Just let me know, and we'll get you changed around. And, there'll be no problem.
And running with it. If you're wondering, I'm not very happy about the situation because I do not like being falsely accused by an attorney. Apparently, he doesn't know how to differentiate lying ass trolls from fact-telling victims. But to be honest with you guys, I am very, very disappointed in the behavior, the unethical behavior of this so-called attorney. But yeah, and I don't want to ruin the guy's career. I'm just trying to give him an opportunity to come back from what he's been doing. But what he did do was he played a video that is non-factual that was made by a troll channel that was intended to try to make me look bad, and he even left some of that negative narration in and let his audience make false allegations about me during the live stream. So, and he, as an attorney, knows the ethics rules. And that was a complete violation the way he did that. Complete violation.
Dumbwaiter, no, he did not do anything unethical. You tried to get him, or you made it very clear that Thomas Clay was your lawyer. There was no money that changed hands. DUI guide looked up everything by the computer. So everything is legit. Your lies were exposed. So, quit your, crybaby. Nobody wants to hear it. If you need some butt cream and a diaper, let us know. We all know you're a liar.
Violation of his ethics. You guys are seeing what the DUI guy's going through now because he did it. He put a big tarnish on his reputation with what he just did. And he actually put himself in a very vulnerable position. He committed a felony against me on the internet.
And I like to welcome Gremlins. Yes, please hit the like button. You want to come up, Gremlins, or you just want to watch and while you're doing a video or something? It's up to you.
That's right, because Larry had some on 4/4/99, which happens to be the day he was also arrested. And then it was filed April.
He, as an attorney, knows the ethics rules. And that was a complete violation the way he did that. Complete violation of his ethics. I mean, you guys are seeing what the DUI guy's going through now because he did it. You know, he put a big tarnish on his reputation with what he just did. And he actually put himself in a very vulnerable position. You know, he committed a felony against me on the internet.
That's right. Because Larry had some questions for Chris about the case I discussed in my video, he apparently has committed an actual felony. You see, if you haven't noticed already, one of these guys spews bullshit for a living, while the other is an accomplished attorney that calls out bullshit for a living. Larry reached out to me shortly after the interview, and we decided to work together because his integrity was being challenged, much like mine has been for the past 2 months. Larry went to work and obtained over 200 certified court documents over a span of 26 years throughout 4 different Kentucky counties, as well as almost 3 hours of actual court footage. We worked side by side to piece all of this information together, and I'll be sharing everything we've learned in my next 2 videos. For a 30-second recap of the video I made 2 months ago, Chris was cited in August of 1998 in Hardin County, Kentucky for possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. In September of 1998, Chris took a plea deal that dismissed the drug paraphernalia charge, leaving him guilty of the possession that landed him 2 years of probation. During this case in 1998, Chris paid for an attorney, showed up to multiple court appearances, paid court costs, and began participating in court-mandated drug screenings.
I'd like to also welcome Karma's helper. Welcome. And we're doing another one of dumbwaiter's dumb things, but this is from the Dummy Kruger and DOI guy. This is the first video of 2. I'm going to contact DUI guy and see if he'll release that second one, because that one covers more of the 1998 case, but we'll continue on.
In August of 1999, Chris failed to complete his drug screening requirements, so his parole was revoked and a warrant was issued. In January of 2023, 25 years later, Chris was arrested on this outstanding warrant, leading to a new revocation hearing. He still claims to this day that it's not him who was originally cited in 1998. In part 1 of my follow-ups, we will be covering a different case that took place in Meade County, Kentucky in 1999, where Chris pleaded guilty to assault 4 charges. This case was used as evidence by the prosecutor during Chris's revocation hearing that helped prove it was actually him, not an imposter, nor a conspiracy, that was cited and pleaded guilty to possession in Hardin County in 1998. So, why is this 1999 assault case even relevant to the discussion? And why does Chris keep telling his followers that it's not?
There is no connection, guys. There's no connection between my real case that happened in Meade County in 1999 and the alleged marijuana case in 1998. The court video from way back when that you've seen circulating the internet of me in 1999 has nothing to do with the marijuana case in Hardin County. Those are 2 completely separate counties. Okay?
The main reason these 2 cases are related are because of the signatures. Let me explain. In his 1998 possession case, Chris signed these 2 documents here. One being him agreeing to the conditions of his probation, and the other one he agreed to random drug testing by a company called CAPS. The prosecutor seeking to revoke Chris's probation used these 2 signatures and compared them to 2 signatures that Chris signed on April 5th, 1999 to bond out of jail for his assault case. That's the one we're discussing today. Chris claims that none of these signatures are his. According to Chris, the 98 signatures were made by an imposter, and he claims he never bonded out in 99. Thus, those signatures are obviously fake as well.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind they're conspiring 100% to try to do that with that paper. It is ridiculous. And it's the document that makes 0 sense. Not even if someone was using my ID. It's the document out of the whole case that is absolutely fabricated all the way to the core.
However, those weren't the only signatures that the prosecutor used for comparison during his revocation hearing. He also had a signature from a 1998 car insurance policy, as well as one from a traffic-related citation also in 1998, which Chris admitted was his on the stand. We're going to dive deeper into these signatures and other newly found evidence in part 2 of this video. So, why else is this 99 assault case in Meade County, Kentucky important? I'll let Tiffany explain that to you.
The prosecutor trying to say, well, you know, this guy was here on this day and he signed this. And then he brought out the paper that is in question about how supposedly Chris bonded out of the jail. And that would have been, I think it was the jail where he was in, it was in Meade. That's the reason that we were going to get those records. So he said, you know, what about this paper here that you signed where it shows that you bonded out? And Chris let him know. He's like, I didn't bond out. So then he pointed out, he's like, so it says that here you came back to court like 9 days later. And the dates that he was questioning are the dates that the Hardin County incidents roundabouts occurred.
Chris and Tiffany have said on multiple occasions that it couldn't have been Chris that was cited in 1998 for possession, and it couldn't have been Chris that began participating in drug screens because he was in jail for his Meade County assault case for 10 days straight between April 4th and April 14th of 1999. However, the incident in Hardin County happened on August 22nd, 1998. Tiffany, those dates aren't remotely close. They're actually 225 days apart to be precise. Chris even took this claim further, writing in one of his motions to dismiss. He wrote, I'm requesting your honor, if you may please dismiss case number 98M50948 based on the following facts. Now, I did emphasize fact here. I'm pointing this out because Chris alleged that in my original video, I misrepresented his statements by presenting them as facts instead of his opinion, which wasn't true at all.
There's a lot of stuff in my content where we didn't know what was going on, but we were, hypothesizing what we expected or what made sense at the time. He took a lot of that type of stuff out and clipped it and then put it towards the end as if we were saying it as fact.
What exactly was he claiming was a fact in this motion to dismiss? He wrote, the dates of the probation visits, verified by date and ID, happened 2 times in which I was incarcerated at the Meade County Jail. I didn't leave that jail except for court. The dates in the case file for this time period range from August 1998 to November 12th, 1998. Chris wasn't...
Why Tiffany isn't saying much is beyond me. I mean, she hasn't done a live or a video for over a month or so. And, she doesn't do anything about CPS or any of her kids or family court or anything. And then when Dumbwaiter does his lives or his rehash videos that he's turning out now, she's nowhere in sight. So something's going on in there.
Wasn't arrested for assault until April 4th, 1999, almost 6 months later. As for his probation visits, the only one on the entire file is dated October 8th, 1998, which would make it 7 months before he was arrested in Meade County. All right, now that you understand the significance of the case, particularly regarding the signature on his bond paperwork dated April 5th, and considering Chris has challenged both Larry's and my integrity, we've decided to release the complete timeline beginning on April 3rd, 1999, to show everyone what exactly happened. I would have kept this follow-up to only the relevant portions like I did in my first video. However, he's forced our hand. Here's how Chris and Larry started the conversation.
I had been facing a really strange case, which we won't get into, but it's not a real big deal, just a little misdemeanor case from Hardin County, Kentucky. And in that, I needed records. I needed a copy of my actual records from my cases in my lifetime, all the way back to 1999. So there was a record that should have been on file in Meade County, Kentucky, concerning a case that was about me in 1999.
Why would it be in Meade County if it's a Hardin County case? I'm confused.
Well, they were using they were cherry picking some records out of a case that was in Meade County in 1999. In the Hardin County case, they were doing that.
Someone has been cherry picking records out of this Meade County Assault 4 case but it wasn't the government. Larry next starts going over the timeline with Chris.
This is you, right? So this is
Yes.
you, correct?
That is me, right?
That is you. So Christopher Ryder. But anyway, let's just keep going because this is
West Coast DUI guy and Dummy Kruger did 2 videos. There's a part 1, which I'm showing right now, and there's a part 2. Part 2 was taken down. The last time I talked to or got a message from Dummy Kruger was that he was redoing it and he would be bringing it back up. From what I have been told, Dummy Kruger works either construction or something where this is the busy time for him where he doesn't have time to get videos out. I have seen him in some of the other channels, but it's very rare. So hopefully we'll get a hold of Dummy Kruger and see when he's going to release those videos again.
is fascinating to me, like what they're doing to you. Cash for $1,000. You posted $1,000 bond. It was set on April 5th. After you get arrested over this, right?
Yeah, I got arrested over that one. Right.
Okay, so you got arrested. The incident happened on April the 4th. Bond is set the next day on April the 5th, and then you post it. You post the bond April 5th, 1999. Cash for $1,000. Does that sound right?
Not to me. So of course, I'm trying to remember back 25 years ago, but to my knowledge, I do not remember any bond at all, paying any sort of bond. Now, I'm not saying
now
that
maybe
they
somebody
didn't
else
offer.
posted it for you. Is it possible? Again, I
don't know.
So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's possible that someone posted a bond, but here's the thing, Larry. I didn't get out of their jail. I served jail time on that incident, and there was only one incident that occurred in Meade County in 1999, and I served the jail time all the way through until the hearing was over.
Not only do I have the bond paperwork showing he did get out of jail on April 5th, but I actually have more receipts.
Hey, Donna Ray, welcome. I have talked to Dummy Kruger in one of the channels. I'm not sure if he showed up at Frauditor Frowleys or Lucid Dreams. It was one of the channels. And I talked to him in the chat as well as other channel owners did. And this is what he told us, that he's extremely busy, and he's going to be working on getting that one video, which is part 2 of this series. But he also said that he was working on another dumbwaiter video. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll send him another email. Maybe we can, he's a very busy, and especially in the summertime, Dummy Kruger could be coming back up anytime. So I don't think anything has happened to him. I'm not sure what he does for a living, but he does work.
Let's take a quick look at what Chris recently said, explaining to his audience the types of receipts that are to be used to show proof of something.
And I sent him all the receipts, the bills, the receipts and the bills, and the paid, like not receipts as in, receipts that the dumb fucks from Troll Worlds talk about. I mean, the actual physical receipt, right?
Oh, you want an actual physical receipt that shows you did bail out on April 5th. Sort of like this one that literally says cash receipt with your name, dated April 5th, showing you paid $1,000 to bail out. I know I'm a dumb fuck and all, but will this suffice? The next clip, he goes on to try and explain to his audience the dates that Larry was just asking him about.
Now, in 1999, April of 1999, matter of fact, April 3rd, and it also says April 4th, and it also says April 5th of 1999. So April 3rd, 4th, and 5th it's like they can't get their record straight. But and this one really was me, okay? Either they're saying, according to the records in Meade County, totally different county, that the incident occurred either April 3rd, or some of the records say it occurred April 4th, and then some of the other records say it occurred April 5th. I'm not shitting you guys. I'm saying the 1999 in Meade County, it was me. That's no lie. That's not wrong. That wasn't. Now, I don't know why the records aren't clear. That's a big question for Meade County.
There's one thing no one has ever accused Chris of being, and that is bright, because the records are 100% clear. Let's go over these dates. Per the police report, the date of incident occurred on April 3rd, 1999. As for the narrative, argument led to a physical altercation. Victim stated perpetrator got violent, hit her several times in the head, some bruising in the left ear. Also, Perp put a pistol to her head, threatened to end her, and then end himself. Victim stated she couldn't get away until today to report the incident, which was the day after it occurred on 4/4/99, which happened.
West Coast. When I last talked to Dummy Kruger, he told me I could use any of his videos that he has. And he said he just told me that he would re-upload that second video. If you have it, leave a let me know. I'll ask Dummy Kruger again if I could, if I'm allowed to play it. But he's already given me permission to play any of his videos that he has out. I told him I would wait and see what how he got that second video played.
Rested. And then it was filed April 5th, 1999 at 9:07 a.m. This is what Chris tries to do. He tries to throw all these random dates together to muddy the waters. As for the incident, of course, Chris tells his audience that none of this is true because when it comes to him, everything that paints him in a bad light is obviously a fabrication. Here's what he tells his audience happened that night.
That girl who's cheated on me, and that's how I ended up with the battery. She cheated on me, and it was with a guy who's no longer with us. Apparently the guy passed away. So I'm not going to talk shit about him or nothing, but that's what the fight was with him. and it turned out she'd been cheating on me.
How dare you have a fight with your girlfriend's boyfriend in your place?
In my house.
Don't you be defending your property.
And I'm not going to bring up old shit anyway, but
yeah, I wouldn't want to talk about it too much more either, especially since there's no mention of this mysterious guy in any of the paperwork from 99, nor is it brought up during any of his video recorded court appearances from them. We'll touch more on that momentarily because he has even more lies that need to be tackled on that front. So to recap, the incident occurred on the 3rd, arrested on the 4th for assault, and bailed out on the 5th. Something else happened on the 5th as well. Not only was he charged for assaulting his then girlfriend, she sought out and received a temporary DV emergency protection order against Chris with the full hearing scheduled 9 days later on April 14th. During that time, he was ordered to stay 500 feet away from her. Okay, so that brings us to his arraignment date that took place on April 7th, 2 days after he bailed out. Watch.
I believe that what you just posted is the video that I am playing. I believe. I'll check it out, but I believe a lot of it is what is this video. It's the one after this. After this one is the one I'm looking for, the second part, and I'm not sure how it's titled. I believe. I could be wrong.
Watch this clip.
According to the records, okay, I'm just going off of what I have. You're saying this is you. So this one with the date of birth, Christopher Ryder. You're not sure about the bond, even though it says cash $1,000 posted, set on April 5th, posted on April 5th. You're not sure about that. Maybe somebody else. Maybe we don't know. But this is you. You're supposed to keep 500 feet away from Georgette, who at the time you were in some sort of relationship with. And according to the records, April 5th, 1999 was when you were arraigned. Then they moved it a couple days, probably because you were released. This is very common. Again, I'm a practicing attorney. This is Kentucky. So for me, this is very, very easy in the sense of I have personal experience with exactly that. You know, client gets out of jail, then they don't have a court date, you know, immediately then and there. They will push it back for a couple days. So the arraignment in this case was originally scheduled for April 5th, 1999. And then it was rescheduled for April 7th, 1999. So it's still the arraignment.
So, April 7th was his arraignment date for the assault charge only. Remember, the DV hearing isn't scheduled until the 14th. And what happened next is where it got really interesting for Larry and me. I've always been of the mindset when dealing with Chris, if you let him talk enough, he will eventually F himself over. And of course, he's done just that. During his interview with Larry, Chris made reference to a second court video that took place on April 7th that I wasn't aware of until he released it a few days ago. He claims that I was aware of this video, but of course, most of us know that Chris is a liar. He claimed that this newly surfaced video would prove that I lied to my audience and that he did, in fact, not bail out. He claims that I didn't show this new video because it proves that he stayed in jail from April 4th through April 14th, even though we hear him on video telling the judge on April 14th that he only stayed in jail for 1 day. Forget about all of the paperwork proving he spent only 1 day in jail. We have actual video of him saying it.
You satisfy his services as your lawyer on this assault charge. All right, court accept your guilty plea and the recommendation.
6 months, Your Honor. They're going to give him credit for time served. The rest will be probated. And the conditions that he abide by the terms of the domestic violence.
How many days did you get?
You got 1.
Okay. You'll be sentenced to 6 months in jail, probated after the 1 day you served. The rest of the time probated for 2 years. No other public offense and no contact with Mr.
If you don't want to believe Larry or me, fine. Then believe what your eyes and ears are telling you when Chris tells the judge he only spent 1 day in jail. We'll get back to the 14th momentarily too. Going back to his arraignment on the 7th, this is what Chris claimed was in this new video that proved I was lying.
The problem is that there's a whole nother Meade County video that I do have that shows me being told that I'm going to jail. Do I not?
I wasn't
True.
What'd you
I
say?
have another video sitting there on my dresser
Yeah.
that shows the judge telling me to go to jail.
Mhm.
And that nobody else has. That's something that an attorney from Kentucky could have requested and gotten if they wanted to. It's public record. I have a video that so did Dummy Kruger, but he didn't want you to see it. And the video that Dummy Kruger didn't want you to see, I have. It's on April 7th, and I'm in the courtroom, and I was put in the jail. Not released, put in. Because after all of the bullshit from the trolls.
Well, dumbwaiter, if you have such proof, why don't you release it? You know, you've been telling everybody video after video after live stream that you have all this documentation and everything else, and you say, well, I'm going to release it when at the end. Why don't you release it? I mean, we're talking the 1999 case. There's nothing secret about it, you know? So let's stop with this constant lying and promises and everything. It's time to bring out the truth. The more you keep harping that, oh, I have this and I have that, I'll show you soon. You know, just like this LOL lawsuit. I bet you dollars to donuts, we'll never find out what you got paid because there's a non-disclosure agreement. And you won't release it. You won't talk about it because you're under a non-disclosure. Just like you don't know who paid it. It was what you call shut up money. Shut up and go away.
That have been making a mess, a mockery of the actual evidence, twisting it all up, throwing it places that it don't belong, and twisting the timeline, and saying this matches this thing and that matches this thing. I mean, even a damn Larry Foreman DUI guy, even he couldn't keep his shit straight when he tried to twist it all up. Are we confident that I spent the minimum 10 days? Yeah, we're confident that I spent a minimum of 10 days in jail. So if the actual incident occurred on the...
I'm confident you only spent 1 day, which was April 4th to the 5th, 1 day in jail. The other time, which we'll show in the video later, you broke the restraining order after the 14th. You broke the restraining order, so you had to go back to jail for I don't know how many days. So what you're trying to do is confuse the situation. It ain't confusion. You're just trying to lie your way through it.
The 3rd, or even the 4th, let's just say the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. It's 10 days. The bad part is that these people that were trying to paint me in a bad light, they have the same video that I have. So they already knew the truth. They chose to lie to you. That's what they did. They chose to lie because they're trying to damage my channel. It's like jealousy or something. I don't know. It's my real record. I'm going to be extremely vulnerable and completely transparent. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how all that went. And it proves that
a trash can be more transparent than you, dumbwaiter.
I spent that time in the jail. It proves it, don't it, Tiff? But they're also trying to discredit me and make me look bad by cherry picking portions of a video that I'm going to show you guys the whole video. That's what I'm going to do. What do you think of that, Tiff? I'm going to show my audience.
He looks and acts like a little small 5-year-old. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What are you doing? Trying to get permission from Tiff? Man, you act worse than a toddler.
The whole record that's available. You like that?
Oh, you were going to show the whole record. Then why did you only show half of it? Needless to say, I was excited to see this newly found footage because even though Chris claimed I had it, I didn't. But thanks to Larry Foreman, I do now. During his yammering about this video, Chris made a specific comment that let me know without a doubt he was about to drop a copious amount of bullshit on his viewers. Check this out.
And then it's saying on these records, on the paper, that on April 7th, which is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 3 days later, that a bond was posted.
Did you catch it? I knew something was going to be up with this video because of this specific clip here. In order to make his story fit, he had to tell his audience that the bond, which I've been discussing, occurred on April 7th. However, as I've already demonstrated, it was actually posted on the 5th. He had to fabricate this new date to make it seem like he was still in jail on the 7th.
I'd like to welcome Ben. Welcome to the program. Buzzard Crow, welcome.
For his arraignment. This was the only way he could align this narrative with the new video he intended to post. Another attempt he made to support his narrative, claiming he didn't post bail and stayed in jail from April 4th to April 14th, and therefore this signature wasn't his, was to only play a portion of this new video from the 7th. However, as I mentioned earlier, Larry got me the whole video, which completely obliterates everything he just said. Who's ready for it? So he literally starts off the video with a complete falsehood. We know these two cases are related because 1, the signatures, and 2, the fact he kept trying to tell his audience he was in Meade County Jail while dealing with the marijuana case. By the way, Chris, why didn't you mention the scales that were confiscated during that time? More on that in the next video. So this is the very first clip he began playing. The first thing I noticed is that he zoomed in so the date and timestamp wouldn't be visible. So he added his own date sans the time. Curious.
Mr. Reader, who went back to the jail on $2,500 cash bond. Mike, I just blanked out on Mike's last name, with the sheriff's department, did go out with him.
I thought somebody else was supposed to.
He's not real smart. I didn't think he's nervous. You need these back? I did not go back and visit him yet, but I did confirm that the sheriff's department did go out. Doors were locked.
By playing these clips out of order, they make absolutely no sense at all. I believe he did this to make it seem like this happened at the beginning of the day, to make it look like he was in jail prior to this hearing. Therefore, he didn't bail out on the 5th. When we watch the clips in the correct order with the correct timestamps, you'll see that this scene happened 2 hours after his initial appearance. He also cut this conversation short and left out some critical information. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's now put the day's events in the proper order and watch them that way. So at 9:40 a.m., this is Chris sitting right here minutes before he's called. Also make note that he's obviously not in custody and that he's wearing street clothes. Everyone remembers this infamous line from my original video, right?
I wanted to show that in the courtroom at the time, back in 99, in the Meade County case, that on the final hearing, I'm in an orange jumpsuit and chains. So I didn't bond out.
And now
I'd like to welcome B9 Mom Bear. Welcome. We're playing Dumbwaiter. DUI guy and Dummy Kruger, just exposed Dumbwaiter and his lies. At least this part. There is another video that Dummy Kruger has. It's about exposing his $15,000 grift. I can play that some other time.
Now that these videos have been released, he's come up with multiple excuses as to why he told his audience that, including this one.
So one thing that I did say wrong, and I did say it wrong, is that I would be an orange jumpsuit and cuffs. Okay, well, I meant that as an expression because I didn't remember particularly what I was wearing, but one would assume that if they were coming out of the jail, that they would be wearing an orange jumpsuit and cuffs. Because that's the way I've always seen it. When you come out of a jail, you're wearing orange jumpsuit and cuffs for the courtroom.
Chris, the funny thing is, you assumed correctly, because if you were in jail at this point, like you were trying to claim, you would be matching this couple, this guy, and even this guy. But you aren't wearing this, Chris. You're wearing...
I'd like to welcome Good Citizen. Welcome. Yeah, he said, he made an assumption. Well, an assumption is making an ass out of you and me. Dumbwaiter, how did that go? You made a real ass out of yourself. Your credibility is worthless.
Your street clothes because you aren't in custody. Okay, I'm going to fast forward 2 minutes from when this screenshot was taken and Chris is called.
Summons. Christopher Ryder.
How much of a bond do you want?
500 cash. They'll interview him and then they change it. You're Christopher Ryder. And you live 35 Chester Lane, Brandenburg. And date of birth. Charged of assault in 4th degree. How do you wish to plead on the charges?
Can I ask what will happen if I plead guilty today?
I really don't know.
Well, I'm not guilty to the charges that you see there. I'm guilty to a part of what you see, but it's...
Judge, they have a domestic hearing next Wednesday at 1.
On the 14th. Mm-hmm. I've signed that. I'll also put a new PO out.
Okay.
Did you see that note?
And I wanted to also say you had given me I can't. You said that I could go home and get my stuff with the sheriff. The sheriff took me over there. She's changed the locks. I don't have any clothes. I mean, I've just been trying to live it as it goes, and it's really rough right now without being able to go to my house.
Chris says, speaking to the judge, quote, "You said I could go home and get my stuff with the sheriff. The sheriff took me over there. She's changed the locks," unquote. Again, for the viewers still buying Chris's claims that he was in custody this whole time, how could he have gone over to their house to get clothing?
Welcome there, Frauditor Mania. Welcome. Eagle Nick, go take a long walk on a short pier. Since you'd like to delete me from your channel, you're going to get deleted from my channel. So what's good for the goose is good for a gander. You're a troll. Take a walk. Goodbye.
If he hadn't bailed out on the 5th.
So if the actual incident occurred on the 3rd or even the 4th, let's just say the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th.
I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but scientists have said it takes the average person 2 to 7 times to hear something before they take action. Now that's the average person with average intellect. I figured I needed to double it.
I understand. I don't know what happened, but according to her, you held a gun to her head in the argument.
That's false.
So I can see why she changed the locks.
It's a false. That's false.
Okay.
It's false. I wish I had time to explain to you exactly how it goes.
We'll just enter not guilty plea. I'll set it for a pretrial conference for 1 o'clock next week, the 14th. That's the same thing. We got a domestic violence hearing anyway.
Exactly. Unheard
Okay.
from me.
And you're on bond. No contact communication with her.
I know, Frauditor Mania. You did nothing. Welcome. It's just I'm not going to have Eagle Nick in here raising a ruckus, calling us trolls and everything. I'm just not going to have it. If he wants, I went to his channel and he blocked a lot of people calling us all sorts of names. So I will not have him in my channel. So, but it's nothing against you, Will. Welcome to the channel, and I hope everything's going great there at work today.
Stay 500 feet away from her, and no alcohol, no public offense. And we need to also add no weapons. Okay.
No, I don't have any weapons.
This is bordering on absurd at this point, but you clearly heard the judge say, quote, "You're on bond, no communication, stay 500 feet away," etc. Just like the bond paperwork says. And this is the video that Chris claims is proof that he was in jail since April 4th.
I don't know, but it sure sounds like Tommy Kruger's purpose of doing this video was out of jealousy over my YouTube channel.
Yeah, Chris, that's exactly what it is. You nailed it, buddy. All right, up next is where Chris gets himself into a little bit of trouble, but it's actually not his fault. The judge makes an error that will get cleared up later.
Frauditor Mania, I don't know if you know this or not. Have you checked for Public Safety's community post? He has a picture on his community post of Gremlins and made a description that Gremlins lives in a van and is an alcoholic. I didn't know if you've seen it or if you know about it, but you know, Dumbwaiter's supposed to be, I guess his next hearing is the 4th of September. Then he's got hearings in October and some more hearings in November.
Later on in the video that he didn't show you.
Sir, is there any way that someone could try to attempt to go to my house with me again so I can get some clothes anyway? Phone numbers, things like that. I don't have anything because, I mean, that's my house. You know?
Well, you know, usually when we have a domestic and the police will move them and say don't go back, and they're chomping at the bit to go back, I really wanted to put him in the jail until the meantime because you don't have an absolute right to go back.
Yeah. I just feel like, since
and
I had
I understand that, but between the bond and now and the domestic violence, you've been told no about 4 times. Now, is there any part of no we don't understand, or I need to let you have a seat over here?
I've been
You're really making me nervous that you're going to walk out of the courtroom and go back anyway.
No,
because
sir, I
because
won't.
you want to stand on your rights.
No, sir, I won't. And I was allowed to go back. It was that she had changed the locks, and at that time I couldn't get my stuff.
I don't remember allowing you to go back. I thought we told someone to go for you. If you went back, you need to have a seat. Have a seat over here. We need $2,500 cash bond, no contact. Have a seat. Because I don't think I told you could go back. I told you to send somebody to get the clothes. You went to the door. You have a seat. We said no several times. Have a seat.
So that was the end of the first time he spoke with the judge, and he did get sent back to jail. What happens next is the clip we already watched that takes place approximately 2 hours later, where the prosecutor is letting the judge know that he made the error because Chris did go back to the house, but with the sheriff's department like he was supposed to, even though, according to Chris, he was still in jail. This is why timestamps are important, and Chris purposefully hid them during that initial clip. Let's watch it again with the actual timestamps on it.
Judge, I'm Mr. Reader, who went back to the jail on $2,500 cash bond. Mike, I just blanked out on Mike's last name, with the sheriff's department, did go out with him.
I thought somebody else was supposed to.
Can you just take your proof right there and get your file?
He's not real smart. And I think he's nervous.
You need these back?
I did not go back and visit him yet, but I did confirm that the sheriff's department did go out, doors were locked, they left.
So at this point right here is where Chris oddly ended the video, but the conversation actually continues a bit longer until the clerk shuts off the camera. I presume it's for a lunch break because this part wasn't even on the record. We're actually lucky it's even recorded. You'll hear the beep that shuts off the recording at the 11:40 and 51 second mark, but it does tell us what to expect next.
We all hear the stories in the news. The good guy uses a gun to protect his family from criminals, and then he's the one who gets arrested.
He just real pushy.
How about, do you want, I'll go talk to him and find out if he needs a court-appointed lawyer, but you might want to talk to him at the end of the day.
Would he qualify for court-appointed lawyer?
So you heard the beep, and that's where this morning session ended. But what did we hear? She mentioned she'll go talk to Chris to see if he needs a court-appointed attorney, which he does get. She adds that the judge may want to speak with him again because he made an error in sending Chris to the jail with a new $2,500 bond because Chris actually did what he was supposed to do, go to the house to pick up his things along with the sheriff's deputy. Going back to the video, the very next frame from this one here jumps right into the middle of a conversation where the judge is talking with Chris. Chris is off screen, but you can clearly hear the same voice, and he's also telling Chris not to go back to the house.
But don't go back down there. Let Mr. Scott help you take care of that or whatever. Don't stay.
Right, sir.
So it was brief, but you can hear Chris saying, quote, "I understand that, sir." Also, remember when the prosecutor mentioned she was going to talk with Chris about a public defender? Well, she did. This is him, attorney Mark Scott, who appears alongside Chris when he pleads guilty to assault 7 days later.
He has signed it. He's initialed it from this date.
Right there. You may have been doubting us at this point that it was actually Chris off screen. However, that last sentence where the prosecutor says, quote, "he's initialed it," is undeniable proof that it was Chris. What exactly did he put his initials on, you're probably asking? Let me explain. Going back a few minutes ago during Chris's morning hearing, you'll hear the judge reading verbatim his bond paperwork from April 5th. But he added something.
No contact communication with her. Stay 500 feet away from her. No alcohol. No public offense. Mm-hmm. And we need to also add no weapons. Okay.
No, I don't have any weapons.
The judge says we need to add, quote, "no weapons" to the original $1,000 bond paperwork from April 5th. On April 7th, during this hearing, that's what was added, along with, you guessed it, the initials the prosecutor was just referring to. Got you, homie.
Another question that I have is the judge said no weapons. Where was this gun? Who has this gun that he held against this woman's head? Where was this gun hidden? Is that the same gun that he tried to play with back last year? You know, showing it all over the internet.
We're just getting warmed up. Let's keep going.
All right.
You're done.
You can hear the prosecutor say we're all done, and then you can hear Chris reply saying, are we still on for the 14th? Which, of course, is the date of his next hearing. The next clip is very brief also, but when they're walking away, you can hear attorney Mark Scott telling Chris that some corporal will process you out. So that was the end of the April 7th hearing, but Chris had a few more tricks up his sleeve, literally, that proved he was in jail this entire time. This was my favorite part of the latest video. Check this out.
To make matters even worse, Dummy Kruger already had the court videos, so therefore he could have shown you this. Which is me wearing the exact same outfit on both 4/7 and 4/14.
This was just incredible. To prove he was in jail from April 4th to April 14th, he shows us 2 different court appearances wearing street clothes. Saying that, Chris, I do have some questions. First, while you were in jail, did you purposefully dye the collar of that bitchin' shirt? Because from here, those aren't the same color. As a matter of fact, one's actually short sleeve and one's long sleeve, and the whole shirts are different colors. Come on, Chris. He also said the following, which leads me to believe Chris really thinks his viewers are idiots.
Hey, if you're not playing MTG Arena, you probably should be. It doesn't even matter if you've never played Magic, or maybe this is the...
Which is me wearing the exact same outfit on both 4/7 and 4/14. Which could indicate that upon knowing that they were going to release me, that they gave me my clothes back to wear to court that day.
Yes, Chris, because that's a thing that happens. The jail staff knew you were about to plead guilty and somehow knew the judge wouldn't give you any jail time, so they let you just go chill with the rest of the gallery. I wonder why they didn't let the other inmates do that. Because the other inmates were brought out one by one, yes, still in orange jumpsuits, through this side door. Man, Chris, you sure had a lot of freedom for someone allegedly in custody. Okay, let's now move on to April 14th, where Chris has 2 hearings scheduled at the same time. The first one, the DV hearing to see if a longer protection order was needed, and the second being his criminal assault charge. We're going to handle the DV hearing first. Let's hear what Chris has been telling his audience about this.
Oh, by the way, you all, I was not charged. I was not convicted of a domestic violence either. That didn't happen. I was right. There were 2 allegations thrown on the table back in '99. One was for a misdemeanor assault, and the other hearing was for a domestic. They ended up tying them together somehow. We're trying to figure that out still. Maybe you guys will be able to help us when the video comes out. There's a lot of people out there who believe that I committed a domestic when actually the charges were for an assault.
All right. Just for clarifications, let's make sure we get this right. I'm going to try to get the timeline straight. The arrest and assault you pled guilty to, but there was a charge with, I believe her name was Georgette, where you beat her with a gun.
Hey there, Just Cause. Welcome. I haven't checked his social blade. Did he get hit hard? Because I know that I've had people tell me that they were thinking about demonetizing him. But that's a possibility.
That was the case that was thrown out, correct?
Yeah, it was thrown out because so here's the deal. So the assault charge was the same incident, right? The unwanted touching assault. She apparently wanted more done to me than that. So she filled out a lie on a civil level. They added it to it as domestic, because the allegation she was making would fit the statute to their domestic abuse in civil court, in civil law. So they were trying to get a charge on me that would have been a domestic. but it was dropped because it didn't happen. Now, during the time of that charge, she made a false allegation and tried to get charges put on me, but they were dropped because they were not real. They were not factual. So they were dropped. So people need to learn how to read records.
Oh, it didn't happen, huh? That's certainly odd. It seems like they could provide documentation showing this didn't happen, right? Hell, even Tiffany tried to get on this blame the victim action. You want to know why they'll never be able to provide any documentation showing that this wasn't dropped and that he wasn't found not guilty? Because nothing was dropped. That's a complete lie from both of them. Here's the rundown. On April 4th, Georgette petitioned the court for the DV order. On the 5th, she was granted the temporary order until the full hearing took place on the 14th. Guess what happened on the 14th? Let's watch and find out.
Georgette Christopher Ryder.
Your Honor, before we get started, my approach.
Yes.
There is a related criminal matter which is pre-tried, and we've resolved it. He's going to go ahead and enter a plea to that, and we don't have any problem with you entering the order.
Okay. Come on up.
Sure. They're not married, have no children.
No reason to be around each other.
No reason to be around each other.
Okay, I'll enter order. Order and you, no contacts, he lays 500 feet away, no domestic. Don't tear up any property. You both gonna be living in Meade County?
No, I won't be.
I'm moving back to Indiana.
Okay. I started saying you're both staying in Brandenburg. It's not that big.
Yeah.
So, no contact doesn't include that you both end up at a pizza place together. If both of you end up in there and neither one sees the other till you get pizza and sit down. Don't talk to one another, don't speak to one, just pretend the other one doesn't exist. Because the town's not that big. If you're both here, they're going to run into one another. Okay, I didn't put it for how long. And what we're doing on the criminal charge.
As you can see, nothing dropped. No one found not guilty. Just two people blaming the victim of a DV that happened 25 years ago. Want to know what that full order says? Let's take a look. Recall how he said on the 4-7 video that a weapon wasn't involved. Well, that's not true. They checked here that a weapon was involved and that he's believed to be armed and dangerous. Continuing, it says, for the petitioner against the above named respondent, in that it was established by a preponderance of the evidence that an act of DV or abuse has occurred and may occur again. Continuing down further, that the above named respondent is restrained from any contact or communication with the above named petitioner. The respondent shall remain at all times and places at least 500 feet away from petitioner and members of the petitioner's family or household. That the above named respondent be restrained from committing further acts of DV and abuse. That the above named respondent be restrained from disposing of or damaging any property of the parties. The terms of this order shall be effective until April 14th, 2000. And then moving on down a little bit to the bold part. And this will come in play in a few minutes. Violation of this order shall constitute contempt of this court and may result in criminal charges. Tiffany, it slipped my mind. What was it again that you said? Oh, right. How about you, Chris?
So they were trying to get a charge on me that would have been a domestic, but it was dropped because it didn't happen.
You both know what's about to come, right? You both know that I have the full records thanks to Larry. You both know that you've been lying to your audience. We're going to get to that momentarily. But first, we're going to tackle the assault for guilty plea that happened on the 14th. And once again, we have to go to a recording of Chris, who has an explanation of this charge.
An assault for in Kentucky is literally the unwanted touching statute. That was the original charge. In other words, that's what they charged me with in the very first place. I didn't plead down. It was an unwanted touching statute that I pled guilty to. That's it.
Oh, it was just a little unwanted touching, huh? Is that what happened? That was a mighty steep sentence for a little unwanted touching. The original charge was assault for state statute 508.030, and that is what he pleaded to. However, he of course had to lie about the seriousness of the charge. Unwanted touching my ass. Kentucky Revised Statute 508.030, which has been in effect since 1982, reads, a person is guilty of assault in the fourth degree when he intentionally or wantonly causes physical injury to another person, or with recklessness he causes physical injury to another person by means of a deadly weapon or a dangerous instrument. Assault in the fourth degree is a Class A misdemeanor. I'm to the point now that I believe this man is incapable of telling the truth about anything. I must have missed the simple unwanted touching in that state statute.
He's going to go ahead and enter guilty plea, Your Honor. Commonwealth's going to recommend.
Did you raise your right hand, Mr. Ryder? Do you swear the statement you make be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Do you understand you've got a right to a jury trial, got a right to confront witnesses against you, such as the police officer and Ms. here, and when you plead guilty, give up those rights?
I do.
You understand you got a right not to testify against yourself. When you plead guilty, give up that right. You admit here under oath you're guilty of assault in the fourth degree.
I do.
Are you if it's for alcohol or any kind of medicine or any other substance here today?
Yeah, dumbwaiter is making excuses. Unwanted touching? I didn't read that when Dummy Kruger showed the law. Man, my lying eyes, or do I need to go get my trifocals readjusted?
Keep you understanding what you're doing.
Oh, there's.
Have you ever been treated for mental illnesses?
No, I haven't.
Are you entering this guilty plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Scott's services on your behalf on the assault charge? Did you discuss the plea with him?
Oh, yes.
And you're satisfied with his services as your lawyer on this assault charge? All right, the court accept your guilty plea and the recommendation.
6 months, Your Honor. They're going to give him credit for time served. The rest will be probated. And the conditions that he abide by the terms of the domestic violence.
How many days did you get?
You got one.
Okay. You'll be sentenced to 6 months in jail, probated after the 1 day you served. The rest of the time probated for 2 years. No other public offense, no contact with Ms. Garcia. Were you all living together or just dating?
Yeah, we just bought a house.
All right. What about his stuff?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I have it all packed up and ready to go.
Is there anybody neutral that can come down and get it?
I think we can work that out, Your Honor. I was going to speak with her after this about just arranging a time and a day to do that.
Okay. And I'd rather Mr. Ryder didn't go if we can work it out with somebody else, because one, it gives that eliminates chance of you all getting an argument over it, because you don't want to go back to jail over a lamp.
Exactly. Exactly. It's happened.
Okay.
I was going to say, or maybe there's a lot of paperwork that I need to get. If she wasn't there, maybe, with an officer or something, just if she wasn't there for
Well,
just
the problem
a
is
little
the
while.
officers don't have any idea what's yours and what's hers.
Well, I can prove anything I tell.
Probably the reason why he wants to go, because he's hidden that gun somewhere in that house where she can't find it. So sometime, he's got to go and find that gun. Maybe he went after he moved out of that place.
I mean, I can.
Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you get somebody to go down and pick it up, what she's got there, and then if there's anything else you think you need, talk to Mr. Scott and he'll work it out. Okay.
All right, stick around just a minute.
Because I don't think she had any use for any paperwork. All right.
Guilty disposition. So you pled guilty, correct?
That is correct.
On April 14th, 1999. Does that ring any bells at all?
That sounds exactly when the time frame and everything is correct.
Okay. Sentenced the same day. The cost amount $105 to the court, and then here comes the jail portion. Jail 6 months. Again, 5 months and 29 days suspended. Supervised probation. We've seen that before. 2 years. Credit, and this is what I'm very confused about. Credit for time served 1 day. They're saying you served 1 day in jail, not more.
And that is not true.
During the dates of April 4th to April 14th, it is absolutely true. It's been true from the jump, no matter how he likes to present it. Next up, we're going to touch on the bond one more time.
And just to be very clear, I have never said that it wasn't possible that someone paid that bond. What I have said all along is that I do not recall paying that bond.
Well, that's certainly some revisionist history. You've been saying it for months. Here's just one example of you talking about it.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind they're conspiring 100% to try to do that with that paper. It is ridiculous. And it's the document that makes zero sense. Not even if someone was using my ID. It's the document out of the whole case that is absolutely fabricated. Fabricated all the way to the core.
And then Tiffany takes it even further, saying, shouldn't we have that money since it says you bonded out, but you know you didn't?
You know, if I bonded out, and I would have gotten $1,000 back, right? Because
you should have been like, hey, where's my money?
I still can. I'm going to be like, if I paid it,
Like,
where's my money at?
It says that I bonded out for this. So I think you guys owe me some money back.
Yeah, sorry to tell you this, Tiffany, but they've already paid him back. It's actually on video. Minus court costs, of course.
Court costs. How much?
It's going to be $105.25.
$105.25. When can you pay that?
Can I pay it in sections?
About $50 by May the 12th, and then the other $50 by the 2nd.
But you put up his own bond.
How much is it?
$1,000. We have to take it out.
I have to get a place to live now.
Well, take it out of that and give you the rest of it back. I can't give you $1,000 back and then.
Well, I'm giving him $500 today, okay. And it's going to be.
I've got to take it out of there if it's your money.
All of it.
Yeah, it's $100.
If you put up your own bond, the court cost has to be taken out of it.
There you go, Tiffany. I'm really glad I could clear that up for you. Chris got the $1,000 back on the day he pled guilty, minus the $105 in court costs. So I guess that has to be it, right? Chris promised to show us everything.
I'm going to show my audience the whole record that's available. You like that?
Well, I'm still holding my breath. Well, not. You're going to show the whole record. Yeah, right. Sure. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm going to get old and gray and probably pass away before we get told the actual truth.
Well, Chris, if you did show the whole record, you wouldn't have stopped at April 14th. You challenged Larry and I to get these records. You promised you were telling everybody the whole story. You didn't. Here goes. 5 days after the hearing we just watched on April 19th, a new arrest warrant was issued for Chris. Per the affidavit his then girlfriend Georgette wrote, he came by trying to take some of his belongings. When I asked him to leave, he refused. I tried to call the police and he tried to take the phone from me. I finally called the police. Chris grabbed the phone and removed the batteries. He fought with me and finally left. On April 21st, the warrant was executed and Chris was arrested. And this time, he would not be getting out of jail. His girlfriend, Georgette, would be subpoenaed to testify. And on April 28th, he was found guilty of violation of his DVO order, giving him 6 months in jail. Approximately a month into his sentence, attorney Mark Scott, who we saw previously on the April 7th and April 14th videos, submitted a motion for suspension for further execution of sentence, where he asked for what's called shock probation. Shock probation in Kentucky is a program that allows certain individuals who have been sentenced to jail to be released early, typically after serving only a short period of time, so they can be placed on probation instead. This shock period is intended to give the individual a brief experience of incarceration to hopefully deter future criminal behavior. If the person successfully completes the probation, they'll avoid serving the remainder of their original sentence in jail. On June 2nd, 1999, the judge in his case granted Chris this shock probation after serving 42 days in jail. After that, we're really not too sure what happened. It looks like he probably moved back to Indiana and finally left Kentucky, which brings us full circle back to my original story, the marijuana case in 1998. Because a couple of months after he was released from jail in Meade County, a new warrant was issued for the probation revocation hearing that I'll be covering intensely on my next video. You can probably be expecting some of this.
So basically, I want to help you find this imposter, because this is what they're trying. Listen, I don't know why you don't care about this, Chris. You should care about this a lot. This is the biggest story right here. You're saying a man pretending to be Christopher Ryder has gone to court, has done probation on your behalf, has served at least no time, sorry, has paid fines and court costs on your behalf. My best friends wouldn't do that for me, Chris. My best buddies would not go to probation for me, pee in a cup for 2 years. They would not pay court costs on my behalf. I want to know who's your imposter, because that is the craziest story I have ever heard in my entire life.
It's going to be a wild one. Larry and I have gone through hundreds of court documents at this point to finally piece this whole thing together. We'll have some new answers, and we'll also learn how a 1989 white Ford Mustang comes into play. And I promise you guys, you won't want to miss it. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for coming by today. I want to give a big shout out to the DUI guy, Larry Foreman, because he's been a tremendous help putting this story together and helping obtain all these documents for me. I could not have done it without him. Saying all that, this is Dummy Kruger, and I'll see you on the next video.
And went to court and out of there. We'll talk about the details of that. The truth.
The tooth? Well, I don't have any teeth, but the tooth? Well, just like in one of his videos, Dumbwaiter sit there and said, "I redded." What's a redded? Is that a short for arrested, or we'll just go a redded, or deflammatory? Well, whatever. But let's pick out another one. Oh. Here's another one, a Dumbwaiter by Dummy Kruger, but that's the long one, exposing his $15,000 grift. If you're interested, or we'll check out a different channel. Let's see. Now, I don't know if, how many of you know this, but Lucid Dreams changed her channel name to Lucid Lair. She talks about it in her community post why she changed her name. So we'll just
So, Lackluster, before we get into the questions, I just wanted to ask you, what are your favorite? This is our company. I just want to make that clear. I saw some comments in the premiere that we were doing this on commission based, and I have never done a sponsorship on my channel, only because I've never had an opportunity to work with a sponsor that I thought brought real value.
Yeah, that's LIA, and he's promoting this scam of Attorney Shield. So just beware of this, and I guess there's a big push about this app.
This is not a sponsorship. This is our company. This is Lackluster and I's company that we formed in order to protect each and every one of you Americans throughout this whole country.
And down the rabbit hole I went. Welcome back to my corner of the internet, guys. I am the Lucid Dream, and today we are going to talk about a couple of different updates for things that have happened over the past week and a half or so. First and foremost, though, thank you to all of my channel members and subscribers. We are at almost 5,500, which is absolutely insane to me. I am thankful for every single one of you every day. If you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and I certainly hope that you'll be back. So, Attorney Shield. So, as you just heard Long Island Audit talking to Lackluster, they very clearly identified this company as theirs multiple times. And that is something we have seen from both of them over the past few months since the app launched. Now, the biggest problem I have had with this is that isn't true. So they are intentionally misleading their audiences, acting like this is their company, that they own this company, to use the trust that their audience has in them to build the subscriber base for Attorney Shield. That is their target demographic. And to me, that is not just incredibly shady, it borders on fraudulent. I've spoken to the president, Andy Chance. I had some questions in regards to Long Island Audit and Lackluster's actual relationship with the company. What I got was he did confirm that they are equity shareholders and that they are business partners. So while they are telling people that this is their company, they do apparently hold some equity in the company. It is not, as you can see from the SEC filing, the only two that hold anything more than 20% are the CEO and the president. So if they are shareholders, it is under that 20% mark. Now, as far as those codes they promote on their channel, even if they are not affiliate codes where they are getting a direct commission from each sign up, they are still required to disclose their relationship, their actual relationship, and what they will be gaining from those codes in every single description box where they list those codes, as well as every video that they promote Attorney Shield. Those are the laws that the FCC has set for influencers, which, let's be honest, that's what they would be at this point. So I still have a lot of unanswered questions, but it's a work in progress. Moving on to Chile, we haven't heard a whole lot from Mr. DeCastro since he was released from jail. I am sure he is enjoying his time being free, but one of the things that I've noticed over the past month is the Elite Laws channel is actually not doing very well. So looking at a subscriber base of 615,000 people, he should be seeing an average of about 14% of his subscriber base watching his videos pretty consistently. You know, you're always going to have those one-offs where you've got more views or less views, but 14% on average is normally what you look at as far as viewership versus your subscriber base. So with 615,000 people, he should be seeing about 86,000 views per video. And he isn't getting close to that. We are looking at about a 1 or 2% viewership on most of his videos. So that can be indicative of a couple of different things. That can be indicative of the fact that he could have bought subscribers. I know that rumor had been going around for a while. Unfortunately, it's almost impossible to prove. And it could just be an indication that people were sick of him. And speaking of Chile, I wonder if Rage Girl is still using the lawyer that he paid for. Someone needs to talk to Rage Girl. She has her court hearing on September 3rd. She's actually got a jury trial for her 4 charges from her arrest at PennDOT. And instead of taking the plea deal and taking 1 year of probation and agreeing to the disorderly conduct, she is going to take this to a jury trial where she is going to be convicted. Now, she is one that I actually almost feel bad for because I really think that she listens to the wrong people. I don't feel like she has any critical thinking skills, and I really don't think she can think for herself. She is reaching out to anyone that will listen, trying to get someone to help her with this, and no one is paying her any attention. She tagged anyone and everyone on this post, and no one is responding, and they're not going to. She unfortunately got herself into this position by listening to these people in the first place, and now they've kind of hung her out to dry. So I kind of feel bad for her. Is this her fault? Yeah, absolutely. It's a stupid fucking thing to do. But I still kind of feel bad for her. So we'll see. September 3rd, I do think she's going to be convicted, and I think she's going to end up with jail time instead of just taking the plea deal. I really think she's going to screw up her life even more than she already has. While Caroline in Fort Worth seems to have recovered from her dislocated shoulder, she's not having that great of a week.
This is the Tarrant County Justice Center, and when the judge called me up to his bench last Tuesday, I thought for sure he was just going to dismiss the resisting arrest charge. Instead, they added 2 more. They added interference with public duties and false reporting. Validated parking. Please register upon parking. Businesses can then validate parking for Folk Street warehouses. Ways to validate. You can scan the QR code or text pay.
Failure to pay or extend time may result in boots. Okay, so how do they know if they paid or not? That's what I want to know. How do they know if they paid or not? How do you know if they paid or not? How do you guys know if they paid or not? Oh, they're going to ignore me too. Help, break, fire, 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 fire.
So I have used that same kind of pay for parking system all over the country, and I really don't understand how someone is so stupid that they can't understand how those work. Not only that, but it would have taken her 2 seconds to pick up her phone and Google it. But beyond that, there's the false reporting. Now let's find the interference.
No, I'm not going to before. There's no investigation. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street. You're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right now.
Wait, tell me why first. We're doing
You're under arrest. Turn around. Stop.
And there is the interference. I am so glad that they did not drop the charges. She deserves every single one that they give her. Last thing I've got for you guys tonight. I'm sure you've seen the video. I am not going to play it for several different reasons. But a video was released a couple of days ago by a creator whose name is Foul-Mouthed Veteran. Now, I've actually never seen him before, never run across his channel. But he released a video which was essentially a very abusive, seemed to be very drunken fight between News Now Ninja and his girlfriend. Now, I am, again, not going to play the video just because I don't feel the need and I don't feel like it is necessarily appropriate. However, I kind of understand why he did it, if he did it for the reasons he says. So, Foul-Mouthed Veteran basically stated that this kind of behavior had gone on for a very long time, that everybody in the community was aware of how News Now Ninja treats his girlfriend, and everyone just gives him a pass for it. So, from what I understand, that is why he did what he did. I do think it was a little strange. It may be a little performative, but it seems like he may have had good intentions. The frauditor community is kind of turning on each other at this point. So not only do we have that, we have the beef between the Angry Vet and Guerrilla Publishing. You got Taco Terry involved in it. You got Accountability for All going to Dr. Phil. Like, I really feel like the frauditor community is going to start eating itself pretty soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I...
Well, that was like the update on some of the frauditors that I haven't been covering. Like Carolina, and I don't know about the other, Liar I don't do. I don't know if anybody is keeping up with Lana. Wrangler, or it might be Frauditor Troll. It talked about what's going on with Lana, and I don't usually follow Frauditor Troll. I have my own opinions. I go into channels that that have a little bit better credibility. So, but I just thought there was a big push, to let for public safety, because he's got an upcoming hearing. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to Hardin County or if that's Meade County, and that's September 4th. Then he's got another court hearing in October. That might be Hardin County, but it also could be Meade. And then November. there is other court hearings, but they're out of Indiana, involving the child support issue involving Tiffany. I don't, I'd rather keep the kids or minors out of it. Since school is getting ready to start back up, hopefully, let's put it, beware out on these frauditors. There's a few of them that likes to fraud at schools, daycares, mental institutions, hospitals, stuff like that. So let's keep an eye on some of these, idiots. To name one is Troll Media or Liberty Troll. So sorry about that. Liberty Troll has a bad habit of going after kids, and there's a few others. Let's see. When I said Troll Media, I wanted to see what he's been brought out yet. Oh yeah, he did one on Lana. Oh, we can just show that.
Viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sir, please, is there anything I can do, sir? Please. Don't do this to my wife, man. You don't know what you're doing to my family, man. Please. I'm begging you. I'm literally, where am I going to put my feet? Sir, I'm begging you, please. Please. Please.
He can't do that. Get off my stuff.
What are you doing? I'm listening. What are you doing?
Get out by that courthouse. You're in the
I'm the new honey boo boo of auditing. And I told my fiance, and he just started busting out laughing. And I'm like, dude, that's not funny. That's not cool. I'm not the honey boo boo of auditing, dude. I'm not trailer trash. Come on.
What am I being charged with?
In today's video, I have some great news for you guys. Lana Patrick, aka Lonnie Patrick, aka Lonnie the Loon, aka J-Town Press, has been sentenced 180 days in jail. Good for you. So I'm not going to spoil it, but let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I said it's news, so hey. Yeah, see, he don't care. It's public, sir.
We're just trying to get clarity. The commission had passed a rule saying that people could not videotape inside of offices.
Yeah, you can't be in the office. Yeah, I'm not in the office, sir. I'm actually in a.
This is my office.
Can I talk?
This is office.
Can I talk real quick?
You can't be in the office.
Can I have a conversation with you?
No, get out of the office.
Or what? If I don't leave, what's going to happen?
You'll be arrested.
So I'll be arrested if I don't leave. Is that from this office or the courthouse? Or that?
See, this is one of the things Lonnie likes to do. He likes to go around when he gets confronted with the arrest and stuff like that. He'll actually say, well, will I get arrested from this? Will I get arrested from that? And just keep prolonging the situation. You know, when you're told to leave, you leave. You don't sit there and try to argue. You just get up and leave. And let me ask you this. Under gender, it says you. Does that mean unidentified? Does that mean Rusty Boy is your mothership?
Courthouse.
You're under arrest.
Sir,
You're under arrest.
I was just about to leave. Can I put this down, please?
Just don't.
I was literally about to leave, sir. I was just asking where I was going.
Do I get an opportunity to leave?
Yes, you can leave.
I was literally leaving,
She's
sir.
arrested.
I was literally walking out the door. I was.
Well, Lonnie, it didn't look like you were walking out the door. It looked like you were trying to prolong the situation. If you were asked to leave, you leave. You don't just sit there and argue. You leave.
Hey, sir, stop.
I'm leaving.
Stop.
I'm walking back with
I'm seizing all this.
Sir.
Let go of it.
Sir.
I'm seizing. You can't do that.
I'll leave.
See,
I'm leaving.
I'm not going to read this, but you can pause it and give it a quick glance. Basically, all it is talking about is what happened, what led up to the arrest.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I came through security.
We're seizing that.
Wow, I'm gonna leave.
Stand by.
I was literally trying to have a conversation with you, sir.
How's this come off?
Well, you're gonna have to take the cuffs off in order to get it on, sir. It's through the loop.
Look at that. Look at Rusty and Lonnie's feet. They're both wearing matching flip-flops. I wonder if they're wearing anything else that's matching.
You just turn my, I don't, yeah, you just turn my thing off.
Come on, 15 one time.
325, 320B, 15 one time.
Don't move your hand one time.
I'm just staring. I'm not resisting.
Okay. I'm not trying to hurt you. Nothing personal.
I was trying to have a conversation with you, sir. I'm not resisting.
I was trying to get you to leave.
I was talking to you, sir. I was simply talking to you.
I know it's hard to do two things at once, Lonnie, but as you're walking to wherever you have to go to leave, you talk to the officer as you're walking and say, hey, can I talk to you?
All right, how's that a polite conversation? What am I being charged with?
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Got your ID, sir?
I want to leave, like you said.
Like I said, do you have your ID?
I do.
Give it to me.
Did your body came on, sir?
Run now.
I was trying to have a peaceful conversation, sir. I wasn't refusing. I was just going to have a conversation.
I know it's kind of hard to read, but basically this is an email from Lonnie to the county leadership, basically saying that she's going to threaten them with a lawsuit if they don't retract the privacy complaints against her videos. Well, here's what happens when you F around and find out. This is the response you get, and it's been directed to the county attorney, and all other emails that you send must go to the county attorney. I hope that these people continue to fight and take this scumbag to court and sue her. I really do. I hope they're able to press charges against this fool because she deserves everything that's coming to her, or him, whatever you want to call it.
First Sergeant, go with me and carry all this property right here. Have them print all that info out for me.
Okay.
Make sure you don't have any recording devices on them. If he does seize them, you don't have anything else on your
I
recording.
don't have nothing recorded. Just that camera, that was all.
Bring them to me.
Yes, sir. What?
Well, I got to
Stand right there.
There's nothing in the U.S. Constitution that says that their civil rights were violated. Lana's and GT are about as dumb as dumbwaiter and Tifaho.
320, show me 15 minutes.
Sorry,
And look at this, for $25 and $25 with no tax, includes the shipping and handling, you can get your very own J-Town Press custom press pass.
Yeah, she wouldn't leave. The tax revenue. You got an old name?
no.
Hey, need 5 blankets and can do it all.
Now, Lonnie was sentenced to 485 days, and unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why, 305 days were taken off, were suspended. So all he has to do is serve 180 days. And unfortunately, because of the appeal, jailbird Lonnie does not have to surrender herself yet. Hopefully, the appeal goes very quick and it gets denied, so we could see this goofball turn himself or herself in August 26th. But I'm kind of doubtful. Probably going to drag it on for months, maybe a year or two. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Somebody call the police on these. Somebody call the police.
He hit me in. Now, what wasn't covered, and let me go back to lucid dreams here, or lucid layer. I gotta find it first. There it is. I believe it's lucid layer. She came out with a community post that had the court order or the court transcripts. I'm not sure. I could have, unless she had to take it down. Let me go down a little further, see if, right there it is. Now, all the other channels haven't shown this, which was the court cost. Defendant is on her first charge. Defendant is fines is $250, bail fee of $100, victim compensation assessment $25. That was on the first charge. The second charge, the defendant is excess of $500, bail bond fee of $100, victim compensation assessment $25. The third charge, she was excess of $1,000 plus bond bail of $100, victim compensation assessment of $25. So she got hit pretty heavily on the court fines. Lucid Dreams is the only one that came out with the fees and everything. Just letting everybody know. So but that's going to be it of my live stream for today. I believe Gremlins will be back up tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. I won't just, I'll try to do another live stream this weekend. Probably I'll be like noon, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I hope everyone's had a fantastic day and has a great, fantastic weekend. I'm glad everyone showed up, and you guys have a great day, and we will talk to everyone probably Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. So everyone have a great day.